Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about how you release equity to buy additional properties. Now, maybe you're considering being a property investor. Maybe you already have a house that you live in, or you've already got a buy-to-let property, or maybe you just want to know how do you do it because you're interested. You see all these people making money with property and you look at it and you think, how are they making so much money? Well, I've been a property investor since 1999, and I remember back then I had the belief, which was wrong, that people saved, got a deposit, got a buy-to-let property, and then they went back to saving again in order to get that second deposit for that second property. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how I've done it and how millions of other investors have done it all around the world as well. So before we jump into this, as always, if you haven't done already, subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. I've got new content every single day on the property market, on investing and all sorts of stuff like that. And while you're here, smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. Why? That helps us with the YouTube algorithm and that gets more views on the content as well. So, property equity. How does it work? Well, let's just start with a fairly straightforward number. Let's just say you bought a £100,000 house as a buy-to-let property. Now, I'm just going to use the easy numbers, and this won't be exactly precise, but it will make sense how this works. So to get a 100 grand property on a buy-to-let, you need to have £25,000 as a deposit. Now, there are other costs as well. And the other costs are things like stamp duty and legals. So you're looking at another 4 or 5 grand there. But let's just keep it easy, straightforward, run numbers. And so you know that. But the idea of growing a property portfolio will work like this. So you buy your 100 grand house. This is dependent on area. Some areas don't go up in value as much, but on average, since 1066, house prices in the UK have doubled every 10 years. Every 10 years, right? Especially in the south of England. And so that is likely that property, if you buy it in the right area, then that property should be worth £200,000 in 10 years from now. Think about this, and maybe you could reply and comment with this. Do you know someone that bought a house for a crazy cheap price? Maybe your grandparents bought it for 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, and now it's worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. Maybe you bought your first property for a really cheap amount. Let me know in the comments some figures. I bought my first property in 1999, a studio flat you can walk to from here, for £45,000. It's now worth 250, right? So it is now worth 5 times the amount that I bought it in 1999. So that math works out. So let's just say you bought that. Now you would have a £75,000 mortgage on that, wouldn't you? Because you're putting 25 in, the bank is going to give you a buy-to-let mortgage for 75 grand. Now that mortgage is on something called interest only. If you want to know more about that, go to the search bar on this channel, search for interest only, and I've got videos about interest only mortgages. But in a nutshell, interest only mortgages, you just pay the interest every month. So at the end of the mortgage term, you still owe them 75 grand. So let's look what happens here. So this 100 grand property in 10 years, if we bought in the right place, should be worth £200,000. How much money do we owe on that property? 75. That means we've now got in that property £125,000 in equity, which is great. That's capital appreciation, right? We've made 120. We haven't made 125. We made 100 extra. We already had 25 that we put into it. But there's £125,000 in that property in equity. Now, house prices are now £200,000, right? They're not 100 anymore. They've doubled. So in order to buy another property, how much deposit do we need? 50 grand, right? So we need 50 grand and we can take money out of this one. So let's just say we're going to buy another 200 grand house or flat, whatever it is. Over here, we need to take some money out. Now, banks will always lend you 75% of the value of that property. That means on this, they will now lend you 150, right? So we can get a 150 mortgage, mort. We can get 150 grand mortgage over here. And then we could take out 50 in equity. No, I'm wrong. Sorry, I got that wrong. We're getting a new 150 grand mortgage. We owe 75. So we've got to pay that one off. That gives us left in our pot £75,000. Sorry for that. So we can get up to 150 grand mortgage on our 200 grand asset. We can get £75,000 equity release. We use 50 of that to go and buy this property over here. So we've got a 50k deposit. This one also has 150k of debt on that property. So between these two properties now, we have £100,000 left in equity because we paid a deposit for that. We've got equity in that one still. Now, in 10 years from now, they will go up again and they'll be worth £400,000. Now we can borrow against that 300. So we can get a 300 grand mortgage. The old mortgage was 150, so we need to pay that off. That gives us 150 grand left that we can now go and spend on houses. Now, we also do the same here. So this house is now worth 400 grand as well. We can put a mortgage on that for 300k. And we need to pay back that 150 mortgage over here, all right? That means we can pull out another 150. Now, in our bank, we would have 300k in money available in our bank right at that point. Houses are now £400,000. We need £100,000 deposit to buy each one, meaning we now can buy 3 additional properties in this instance. So we can buy 400k, a 400k, and a 400k, right? So we'd have 5 properties. We haven't had to put any additional money into this. It's just built with inflation on our side, house prices going up as they have done since 1066. That's not going to change. You'll get short-term blips, of course you will. But over time, house prices always go up, and that's really important to understand, right? If you buy in the right area. Now, that's one way you can create equity. Next is we can shorten this period, because I don't want to wait 10 years, neither do you, right? Let me show you a quick deal, some numbers on a deal that I did. You can see this on the channel, actually. Go back and look at the older videos. So I bought my daughter a flat for 60k, a house, sorry, in Doncaster, right? Now, we bought that in cash, right? We bought that property in cash. We spent 15k for legals, stamp duty, and renovating the property, right? Kitchen costs like 2 grand, carpets cost like 600 quid. All of this is documented on the channel, so you can go and see what we did. So we spent 75k on that property. When we bought the property, I'd definitely advise to go and look at the older videos. It was horrendous, an absolute mess, stunk. Everything was wrong, right? So we fixed it. It's a 2-bedroom house. We put new kitchen, new bathroom, plastered it, decorated it, and new carpets. And we cleaned the front garden and cleaned the front garden. So with this instance, what happened here is we got the property revalued a few months later for £100,000. £100,000. Now, the bank will lend us 75. We've spent £75,000 there. So what we did was we got all of our money out of that deal. All of it. Everything. So that house cost us 0. We then reused that money to buy again. That's a strategy called buy, refurbish, refinance, rent. I've got lots of videos on how I've done this on the channel. Do go and watch the older videos and go and see exactly how this works. In fact, if you want to see me buying the property at auction, there's actually a video here. It's an hour long. Go and check that. Type in auction into the search, just this channel search, and you'll see the video. It's got 20,000 views on it, so it's really useful. So do go and watch that now. But this is how you release equity. Over time, the house price goes up, or if you want to do it shorter, you can buy a property that needs some work done on it and then increase the value that way. Let me know your questions or thoughts in the comments below. Do smash like, do subscribe. We're probably at 25,000. If not, we are so close. So go and check that out now. Check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.